Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct. Hey, looks like I'm the one-man band show here this morning. Mike Mills should be joining me shortly. Hey, it's the fourth and shorts NFL segment, week 15, here on Monday, December the 19th, 2022. A lot of great, interesting games with the NFL on this past weekend from Saturday all the way to last night. Yep, I got my Giants gear back on. Giants with the victory last night. A lot of controversial calls within that game, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's get to the games of topic as we got on the rundown here. The Minnesota Vikings defeated the Baltimore Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going way back, 39-36. This is the greatest NFL comeback in history. I looked at the TV midway through the second quarter, and it was 33-0, 33-3. And I went doing things around the house, and I was like, there's no way. And then I got a notification on the phone. The Vikings were back in it, 33-21. And before you know it, lo and behold, the Vikings momentum started kicking in. Kirk Cousins started throwing that ball around the yard. Excuse me. And Jefferson started getting involved. Man, it was good game from the aspect from Minnesota where they came back 22 fourth quarter points. And you had to think about the Indianapolis Colts ineptitude and that they couldn't score, that they only mustered 3 points in the second half after a stellar first half where, they did their thing. Excuse me, it was 30. It was 33-0. 33-0. And they started coming back. Let's get some of the stats here. The Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, he was 34 for 54, 460 yards, 4 TDs, 2 interceptions. Dalvin Cook ran the ball for 17 of 95. And let me see here with the receiving, Justin Jefferson, monster game, 12 receptions, 123 yards, 1 TD. KJ Osborne, he also with 10 receptions, 157 yards, 1 TD. Thing about Cousins, he threw the ball around the yard, and he was able to bring the Minnesota Vikings back. They was bring them back from a 33-0 deficit, the biggest in NFL history, not since Frank Reich and the Buffalo Bills came back against the then Houston Oilers, who are now the Tennessee Titans. Back in the 90s, I don't have it in front of me, but what do you say about a coach that loses, a team that loses a lead like that? That's a lot. There was signs of a fire Jeff Saturday. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I saw when I was watching, and y'all hit me in the comments if y'all can. I don't know if I'll be able to respond right away because, like I said, I'm a one-man band this morning until Mike Mills comes on here. Indianapolis looks like they start playing, and the whole thing of not playing with playing from in front, and you're unable to hold a lead like that. What does that say about your play calling? That's why I'm an advocate of just keep on mashing on the gas because in the NFL, the system is geared for the offense, and then you have pass interference plays, and we'll get into that later with the Giants and Commanders game on last night, where those can make the differences, and I'll talk about the pass interference and how it's so punitive, how those things come out. But like I said, the Minnesota Vikings 39-36 over the Indianapolis Colts. Let's give some of the Colts highlights here. The Colts, Matt Ryan, oh man, what can you say? He was 19 of 33, 182 yards. 1 TD, no interceptions. He again is upon history of a team coming way from behind and beating him. He had the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl a couple years ago come roaring back from behind and come in to beat his Atlanta Falcons when he played with the Falcons at the time. So Matt Ryan is on the bad side of NFL history again from the comeback aspect. Zach Moss, he ran the ball for 24 carries and 81 yards. Yeah. What do you say? What do you say about the Colts and their ineptitude to score in the second half? They only mustered 3 points and allowed the Minnesota Vikings to come roaring back. So that was bad for the Vikings. Let me move on to the next game. The next game here, is the Miami Dolphins went up to Western New York to visit the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills wound up winning that game 32-29. Now, listen, I didn't think that this game would be close, and not because the Dolphins play in Florida, and I just didn't think the Dolphins were playing good. The Dolphins should have won this game. And again, another pass interference play at the end of that game cost, to me, the Dolphins the opportunity of at least tying this game. And let's go to the stats here for the Dolphins. For the Bills. Bills, Dolphins. Josh Allen was 25 of 40. He had 4 TDs. Again, he was the leading rusher. And DA always says it on the show, that's going to run out. Your quarterback cannot be your leading rusher as well as your leading passer too. So Josh Allen was 10 carries of 77 yards. Devin Singletary was 13 of 42. James Cook, 5 of 34. Stephon Diggs had a carry for negative yardage. Some of the receivers, here, Dawson Knox had 98 yards, 1 TD. Quentin Morris had 1 reception, 1 TD. James Cook and Naheem Hines for the Bills. Let's go over to the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa was 17 of 30, 234 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. Dolphins ran the ball. They did what you're supposed to do this time of year: play ball control, run the ball. And I don't know why he's doing that. So, I'm sorry. Tua Tagovailoa, excuse me. I was interrupted here. It looked like Mike Mills is trying to get in here. Here, hold on. So let me go back to my thing here. Sorry about that. Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa, he was 17 of 30, 234 yards, 2 TDs. Ryan Mostert was 17 carries and 136 yards. He averaged 8 carries per yard. The Dolphins ran the ball. They ran the ball and was able to keep this game close. And like I said, there was a shoddy pass interference call at the end that made the Dolphins not, get at least an opportunity to tie the game up. And I just think the pass interference call has become too punitive, especially in the waning moments of games where, teams are able to just throw it up. And sometimes it should be reviewable, I think, in my opinion. The pass interference call should be reviewable. So, yes, it should be reviewable. Bear with me one moment as like I said, I'm the one-man band here. So, there you go. Yes, it's too punitive, and sometimes it's not reviewable. And you'll have where in the case of the Dolphins in the Bills game, where you see it was a clear pass interference. It should be reviewable. They need to revamp it, and it's too punitive. I think it should just be 15 yards. My opinion with that. So let me get to the other games of note here as Mike Mill tries to get in. My bad, Mike. he was trying to get into the game. Let me talk about something else here. Sorry, the Bills. Like I said, let's get back to Josh Allen. He was a leading rusher on the team. 10 of 77 carries. Also during the game, there was also where the refs had to stop the game because there was fans throwing snowballs at the Dolphin players, and they was going to charge the Bills with a penalty if they didn't cease. A lot of snow in Western New York on Saturday night. Fun game. Reminds me of as a kid as playing in the snow in New York, playing football, and it was fun. So with the Bills getting the 32-29 win, the Dolphins are hanging on to the last spot in the playoffs. The Bills are currently, I want to say, the Bills are currently the Dolphins are the 7th seed. The Bills are the number 1 seed. Excuse me. The Chiefs are the 2nd seed. The Chiefs are the 2nd seed because their winning of the beating the Houston Texans on yesterday. That was a riveting game. Let me go to the next game: the Jaguars versus the Cowboys. Jaguars versus the Cowboys here. The Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Dallas Cowboys 40-34. I think this is a really good season for Trevor Lawrence. The Jaguars go to 6-8. Still a little bit in the playoff picture in the AFC. The Dallas Cowboys, though they lost last night, they clinched the playoff berth with the Giants winning. So, but with that said, it's a lot of things with this game. A lot of people want to, blame Dak for the late interception with the pick six. What else? Yeah, let me just get the line here for the game here. The Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. He was 23 of 30, 256 yards, 3 TDs. He had 2 interceptions. Like we said in the show, you can't throw the ball to the other team and expect to win. And Dak did that mistake twice yesterday. Tony Pollard, he carried the ball for 19 of 75 yards, no TDs. Ezekiel Elliott was 16 of 58, 1 TD. And Prescott, he ran the ball for 5 of 20, with a 4 average. The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, like I said, he's on it now. 27-42, he threw 4 TDs, 1 interception, 4 TDs and 1 interception. Mike Mills, welcome. We're at the Cowboys and Jaguars game, and we'll circle back to the other 2 games here. Welcome and salutations and good morning to you, sir. Oh, that was prompted for you to say hello. Good morning.
My bad. We was having technical difficulties. We here though. We in here. Let's get it.
Okay. Like I said, we was on the Jaguars and Cowboys game where the Jaguars defeated the Cowboys 40-34, and I was just doing the rundown of the stats. Trevor Lawrence being 27-42. Travis Etienne running the ball 19 times for 103 yards. They did some ball control yesterday. What is your thoughts on the Jaguars and Cowboys? And welcome back, Mike. Mike has not been with us. He's been on vacation. Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you. Glad to be back. But my thoughts really ain't on the Jaguars, more on the Cowboys. How they should just shut up. See what happens when you look ahead on the schedule instead of just shutting up and playing the game. Like you was playing the Jaguars. You should have just shut up. And then we wouldn't be talking about it today, right? We'd just be talking about games that were more interesting. But the Jaguars did Jaguar things. They came behind and beat my Ravens a couple weeks ago, so they got comeback potential. Doug Peterson really do a good job with these young quarterbacks because he was in Philly first, with Carson Wentz. He ain't want to jump on the Jalen Hurts hype train. You see what happened to him. So now he down there in Jacksonville. But he got Trevor Lawrence looking real good after he was looking real terrible last year.
Gotcha. Like I said, I started off talking about the Colts and Vikings. So let me circle back to that. The Vikings completed the best comeback ever when they beat the Colts 39-36. What's your thoughts on that game?
My thoughts on that game, there's no reason you should ever let a team ever come back from that many points, especially in that amount of time. You had them 33-0 at halftime. And I missed part of that game. So when I seen it on the ticker, it was like halftime. I'm like, ain't no way. Like I thought it was reversed or backwards. It was an error. I thought ESPN was tripping. Like there's no way. But they was up. And it was like, yeah, you could blame the defense, but as an offense, you can't just not exist. Like they was doing okay in the first half. Well, they didn't do much in the first half anyway. It wasn't really the offense, it was special teams and all the extra shit. So it's like they already gave you a 33-point lead. So when it started looking bad, you got to give them something. You got to give your defense something. 6 points.
Yeah, they only scored 3 points in the half. What do you say for D-Dub just put in the comments? I say fire Jeff Saturday. What do you think about what he said? D-Dub can be with us this morning.
I mean, you gonna fire Jeff Saturday after like 4 games? I mean, he's already there.
Yep.
Did y'all see that report with the NFL listed how much money they've been spending on firing people like all throughout that shit is crazy.
Yo, D-Dub posted that in our chat yesterday. That is, like you said, insane. What is it, like 85 million? What is it? It was some crazy.
It's crazy, and they have a list of teams, and they're not even just head coaches. So I don't think you should fire Jeff Saturday right away. He's already there. So just give it a shot and see what happens. I mean, if you start next year and they go 0-12, then I get it. But that team wasn't. I don't. 800 million. Yeah, that team wasn't winning anything anyway. Like only reason it's a little more scrutiny is because the division is bad, and technically everybody got a chance technically. But man, that ain't on Jeff Saturday. That's on that badass roster that the drunk owner made. He's too busy chasing ghosts in Washington and not worried about his own shit. So,
yeah. Let me circle back to the Bills and Dolphins. The Bills winning that game in Orchard Park, New York, 32-29. Again, Josh Allen, the Bills win the game, and as DA always says on this show, you can't. Josh Allen, he's leading the Bills in rushing again. Your thoughts on the Bills beating the Dolphins and the bad pass interference call at the end of that game?
You think it was a bad call or it should have been a no call? What do you think?
I mean, it should have been no call.
Nah, you gotta okay. I didn't play much football growing up. Played a little bit, but I didn't play much. But one thing I always learned playing any sport is it's only a bad play if you get caught. And there's loopholes away not getting caught. So he could have did all that shit he did on defense if he would have turned his head just a little bit. If he would have turned his head a little bit and made it look like he was actually going for the ball, then he would have been okay. But, I mean, they're going to call what they're going to see. It's holding on every play possible. It's pass interference on every play possible. So you just got to not be so blatant. You feel me? Turn your head.
You think it should be reviewable?
Think it should be reviewable?
Yeah. Sounds like a no.
That's opening a whole nother can of worms. I mean,
right, because
it's not a turnover.
It's still a subjective call, right? It's still subjective.
Yeah, and it's not a turnover.
And you look at the Redskins and the Commanders and Giants game last night, right? That
shit
was
blatant.
blatant. Like that was no turning. There was nothing. He just jumped over his back, and I was waiting for the flag. I said, "Wait, ain't no flag? We about to get out of here with a win." Yeah, I got my Giants cap on again. Yeah, that should have been pass interference. That was pass interference. Yes,
that was blatant.
Yes, the Redskins got holes on that. The Redskins also got holes on that illegal formation tip on that game. But let's I'm sorry, we'll go to the Giants and Commanders in a little bit. The Dolphins and the Bills. I said before you came on, very winnable game. I didn't think the Dolphins had enough to beat the Bills. Well, not have enough. The Dolphins have not been playing well enough, I think, to beat the Bills, and they stood toe to toe with the Bills. This was a very winnable game, and the Dolphins currently, I believe, they hold the sixth seed in the the seventh seed in the last spot in the playoffs, man. So, what you think about the Dolphins play?
Everybody made all that big fuss about Tua not being able to play in the cold, but listen, don't nobody play good in the cold unless they live in the cold all year. So I didn't really think that was really a thing. I mean, like in Green Bay, the cold is different, but cold weather teams, like, remember when it was like negative whatever, and the Giants went up there and beat them? The Giants play in the cold. So cold weather teams playing cold weather, but it was just, it was a good game. Dolphins stood toe to toe. But Josh Allen leading the team in rushing is bananas, especially when they got all them running backs. And it seemed like they draft a running back every other year. And Devin Singletary is not bad. I don't know what it is. Like, I seen somebody say on ESPN, I don't remember who it was, but they was like, they're a cold weather team that plays hot weather offense. And it's a fact, because they high flying. They don't have that get it out the mud besides Josh Allen. And that's not a good way to live, especially your quarterback got to be the pony. Look at my team right now. So, yeah.
They threw the ball 40 times in the cold and the snow on Saturday night. 25 or 40 Josh Allen was, and 4 TDs. So,
bananas.
Definitely bananas. Let's go on to the next game. The Detroit Lions defeat the New York Jets in the Meadowlands yesterday. Interesting game. The Lions, the Lions have won like 6 out of 7. They're 7-7 currently within the playoff picture. The Jets are slowly fading from the playoff picture. The Jets yesterday, Mike White wasn't able to play. He still looks like a broken rib. But Mike Mills' favorite player, Jared, what you call him? Jared Stafford.
Jared Stafford.
Jared Goff.
He had a very Jared Stafford game. But go ahead.
23 of 38, 1 TD. DeAndre Swift was 8 of 52. Jamal Williams, 13 of 33 running. Justin Jackson, 6 of 16. And then the Jets, Zach Wilson didn't play a bad game. 18 of 35, 2 TDs, 1 interception. There was some questionable decision making by the head coach on yesterday with the managing the time at the end of the game. I just didn't understand it. It didn't put the Jets in an okay situation to kick that field goal at the end of the game. Your thoughts on the Jets and the Lions?
I definitely, when I was watching the run over, when I was watching the highlights, I was like, they should have that was the first thing before they even said it to me. Once I seen that pass get completed, I was like, that should have been a timeout. You really gotta, especially because you gotta know what you got. That ain't Tom Brady back there. That ain't Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago. That ain't Patrick Mahomes. That ain't Josh Allen. That's right. Zach Wilson. You gotta know what you got. So in a perfect utopia, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but that ain't you the Jets. You got to know what you got. So that timeout, you the Jets. So you should have called that timeout. And then it's gonna break y'all heart when these Lions don't make this playoffs. Because I'm trying to warn y'all. Even if they do make it, they're gonna get embarrassed in the first round. Because Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford are the same person. I keep telling y'all that. Jared Goff made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, Matthew Stafford went and won it because he's the same person, just in a time machine. They're living in the same era. They're the same person. Jared Goff does this. He has these games where it's like, oh man, now we see why we got drafted. But Matthew Stafford also went number one. They're the same person. Matthew Stafford did this in Detroit for years. The only difference between this Detroit team is, and the other ones is the coaching. I think the coaching is a little bit better. The head coach, and then they running backs a little bit better. Because, they always had these funky, weird running back tandems that didn't work out the way they were supposed to.
Correct.
They had the Theo Riddicks and all the other random guys. But, yeah, I mean, good win for the Lions. The Jets are on a mission to sabotage themselves, clearly. Because I can't believe they let that play. That big play to the tight end.
The tight end. They didn't even see him. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Good. Shout out to the Lions offensive coordinator for calling that play. If you don't remember the game, that's pretty much the game ender right there, where the tight end, he snuck out on the left-hand side of the formation. He was wide open. And
me and you could have ran that play.
Yeah.
Wide open. We could have grittied all the way to the end zone, like wide open. Like that shit was crazy. You can't. And the Jets defense has been like they backbone. They really been.
Yes, absolutely.
The reason they've been, but yeah, that shit was crazy.
Let's run on to another crazier game before we get on out of here. Mike, I have so many questions about this game because this has playoff implications too. The New England Patriots traveled to Las Vegas to visit the 6-7 Raiders at the time. The Raiders won this game 30-24 on one of the craziest plays I've ever seen watching football. Mike, hold on. Let me just get the stats here real quick. Mac Jones was 13-31, 112 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, they ran the ball, man. New England style, 19 of 119. Ramondre Stevenson was 19 of 172 yards, 1 TD. The Raiders, Derek Carr, 20-38, 231 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs, 22 of 93, no TDs. Mike, what is your thought process of that end of that play that ended the game with Jones getting the touchdown on the whack lateral? What is that about?
My first thought is maybe they knew they was gonna miss their flight and they needed to get out of there. Maybe that was it. That's one. Two, maybe Bill Belichick finally said fuck it and was like, you know what? We're just gonna tank because we're not gonna win anyway. Maybe that's it. Or three, they lost their mind. That made no sense. And then you get your quarterback murdered on the way down the field because Mac looked confused. Like, wait a minute, what? Like he tried, and then bing. That was insane. Take the knee, go to overtime. Or even if it was a running play originally, right? So Ramondre was hot. Boom, you get down the field. It wasn't no time on the clock, man. You go out of bounds, take a knee. What are you lateral on that back for? That shit don't work. That doesn't work. This is especially not in the NFL. That doesn't work.
I didn't understand what
the band is on the field. Like I don't know what they was thinking about.
And what was the guy that lateral back? I forgot his name. I'm sorry, it escapes me real quick.
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers, right?
Your number one receiver.
Yeah. Jacoby Myers remind me. He looks like he was named after the law firm that used to come on the commercial in New York. I don't know what his thought process is. I don't know what his situational awareness. And you got to know, like, yo, like if he laterals back, just fall down on the ball. What are you doing? Y'all good. Y'all going to overtime. So Mike, right. I don't know. What is those 3 or 4 options that you put in front? They're losing their flight or whatever. I could not understand it. The Patriots are 7-7. They fall underneath. That loss is pretty much a killer for them as far as making the playoffs. The Raiders are still in the playoff chase.
Sick.
I mean, you look at it. Tampa Bay lost. Tampa Bay. There's going to be a losing team in the NFC South, and they're going to make and they're gonna host a first round game, and who knows what might can happen. And I don't want to hear anybody crying. Oh my God, that is so messed up. Nope, that's what it is. You win a division, you host a first round team. Don't matter what it is.
This ain't the first
So
time it happened, and it ain't
it's
gonna
not
be the
first.
last.
Nope, it's not gonna be last. So I don't want to hear anything because I know it's coming. It's gonna happen. Our last game, and we'll get out of here. My New York Giants, my New York Football Giants, escape. And yes, escape is a word. But before we go to that last play of the game, Daniel Jones, 21-32. Daniel Jones was very efficient last night, passing the ball. Saquon Barkley was masterful, especially down the stretch. That last drive before the Commanders got the ball back, he was 18 of 87. Daniel Jones was also 10 of 35 of carrying the ball. The Commanders, Taylor Heineke was 17 of 29, 1 TD. Brian Robinson was 12 of 89 catching the ball. Rushing, and Heineke was 3 of 33 receiving. Yo, Jahan Dotson, man. Yo, I don't know why he only had like 5 looks, but yo, nobody can stop that guy. That guy, he can catch the ball.
He was hot early in the season.
He was hot. I
Unfortunate.
couldn't guard him, man. But Mike Mills, what's your take on this game before we get on out of here?
Daniel Jones is cool, but I need like 5 or 6 of them throws back. I don't need him throwing 32 times. I think if the Giants are going to continue to play this way, they're going to have to go ahead and go get them another running back to help Saquon. Not to say don't give Saquon 20 carries. Give him 20. But run the ball 30 times and sneak somebody else in there 10. Give him a little scat back, something. Because having Daniel Jones throw 30 times and then rush for another 10, that's not going to be sustainable because people are going to start figuring them out a little bit more.
Right.
The Giants defense looked good. Especially Thibodeau, the young guy, he was out
Thibodeau,
there,
man, with that scooping, that sack scooping fumble. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, that was dope.
He was out there giving them nightmares. He was everywhere, and he looked like he was. If that penalty would have got thrown, he would have died right there on the field because he was playing his heart out. Because it's like sometimes when you play sports, sometimes like you be playing your heart out, and it's like some plays like just break you, and I think that would have broke them. So
yeah.
So the Giants, escaped. Escaped is a good word, but they really played excellent. They really played great defense, and they really play great defense. They look good out there.
That call at the end though, that pass interference. We all agree that was pass interference. Yes, as a Giant fan, I am telling you, that was indeed pass interference. It was.
And I was flipping back and forth, and I just turned back like for that goal line stance. And when that happened in real time, I'm like, oh, they okay. And then I looked again, I said, oh, because in real time it was bang bang. But on that, it was like, yeah, that was crazy.
The Eric, the angry one says, Kev got a Giants on after how many weeks?
He's sick. He's sick. He's sick. But I wasn't gonna say nothing, but he's sick.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what I was saying about, and we can talk another day before we get out of here about pass interference and should it be reviewable and all that stuff. Definitely Washington, like I said earlier in the show, Washington, that the play before that, the illegal shift or legal motion or whatever, the receiver on the end was asking the ref, hey, am I good? And he was like, yeah. And then before you know it, the ref pulled the flag out and flagged him on the play for a legal formation, and that backed the Commanders up. It was just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the referees sometimes in the NFL. They're not good sometimes. That's all I can say. But I'm not going to get fined. So I'm just saying it for the Commander fans. You know, you just want a fair and equitable game, and the refs to just do the thing. D-Dub is saying, "Cry me a river." If that was the other way around, D-Dub, you absolutely would be in your bag. So we call it like we see it. Yes. And Marlon says the offside penalty before was a worse call to me. Yeah. Oh man, but what else? Hey, as you can see, we're about to end the show, but if you want to, as you see, we talk to people here on YouTube. If you want to, get in the comments. We try to accommodate everybody by getting in the comments. And hey, NFL made pass interference review a few years ago, and it was a disaster, and they did away with it. Yes, Ryan, I do remember that. Yes, absolutely. But we'll see. But that's it. Hey, Mike Mills, real quick, your Ravens, and then we'll get out of here. What was that on Saturday night?
We scored 3 points. I mean, Justin Tucker is gonna have a bad game. Once out of every 350 million games. So it's like I'm not even mad at him. I'm more mad at. I mean, we ran the ball well. You got to finish. There's no reason we should have all them rushing yards and not finish. That is insane. And the guard, wasn't it Kevin Zeitler? He said that. Like, there's no reason we should be in the trenches and we got all these yards. We're on the ground and we're not scoring the ball. And that's the plan right now. We don't have Lamar, so you don't want Huntley doing crazy shit. You want him doing, enough to win a game. And if our defense is going to stand tall most of the game, which they did, I mean, they blew some shit, but they only gave up 13 points.
Right.
That should be a win. I'm sorry. I don't care who your team is. If your defense only gave up 13 points, it should automatically be a win. You should win. So we just got to execute.
Gotcha. Other games of note, the Titans versus the Chargers with the win. DW, you should be happy that your second team that you adopted, the Chargers, they won that game, and they're sitting pretty at 8-6, I believe, with the six playoff spot in the fifth, and the sixth in the AFC. So Chargers are with it. The Titans, who are the AFC South, looking like the NFC South. Looks like that might be a losing record that gets into the playoffs also, man. But hey, it's fourth and short for as long as Mike Mills deemed it 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna get out of here. It's fourth and short, man. Hey, we'll see you later on this week with our regular show, our 90-minute show. Hey, man, this is Sports Chasers Podcast. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Owan, your moderator. For Mike Mills, for all the other guys in their absence, Daryl D. Dub Warren, James the Angry One Warren, Dan, our hockey guy, and Dorian the DAA. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, man. Y'all be good, be blessed. Hey, we'll see y'all later, I think.
What's up, everybody?
Not with that. We'll see y'all. Y'all take it easy.